I want to go ahead and let y'all in on a little something. It's getting to where people on YouTube basically want to label you a bad guy if you have an opinion that doesn't go along with theirs. I want to explain something to everyone. When I see somebody, I start with a clean slate and I try to let their words and stuff form an opinion in my mind. Okay? If I think that person's a good person, I'm going to say that. I've said from the very beginning, I don't think Robin Lane has nothing to do with anything. And I think people give her a hard time and try to drag her into it, and it's unfair. However, when I see Jose, I see everybody trying to paint this picture. He's this perfect dude, and if you question his story, you're a bad guy because he's such a great person. I don't follow along with that. After the interviews I've seen, I have many questions about his credibility. And I'm going to express those no matter who it is. And make no mistake, Jose brought himself to YouTube, okay? He made a decision to come out and tell his story. Don't tell me he can come out and tell his story, but we can't give an opinion on it? Or we're bad guys? Or if we don't believe everything he says, we're bad guys? Well, I guess I'm a bad dude then. And I want to start off with this. Now, this is an opinion, my opinion. I think there is a good chance Jose's, what he's labeling as his breakdown, is a battle with addiction. I think it's a good possibility. His 16 to 17 day stay before he got out was detox. He could have been detoxing. He gets out, makes the mistake of going around his old pals. Next thing you know, they're in a moving truck on their way to Tennessee. And I find it, he talks about the doctor said the best thing for him was to get away from New York. I don't think many psychiatrists and people like that would give advice to get away from your family, your kids and stuff like that over, going through a divorce. I really don't. I could be wrong. These are my opinions. Just because I don't agree with everything everybody else agrees with doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have an opinion also. I am skeptical of everyone. You gotta be. Now the U-Haul story, none of that makes any sense. I believe everybody will agree to that. My thing about that U-Haul story now is Jose added in that dude, Jeff, transferred his job from New York to Tennessee. Okay? That's going through a lot to go ahead and transfer your employment also, right? And if that's the truth, you gotta think this guy packed up everything he had, got his kids, everything he's got, moves to Tennessee, and in the span of 2 hours, to hell with transferring my job, to hell with, I've already loaded up the storage unit. I'm just going to completely change my mind and go straight back. No, I don't buy that. I think, because Jose goes on to say that he would not let Andrew and any of them bring any pot whatsoever. No drugs around Jose. Absolutely not. Okay? Maybe that's true. But maybe it's true in the way that Jose didn't want Andrew and them smoking pot, because if they were to get pulled over, the cop smells pot, he's going to search everything. So maybe that's partially true, but the reasoning is because if Andrew's up front smoking pot, the cops pull him over, they're going to search, and they're going to find something bigger. Would that make sense? It would make sense to me. Why did only Jose stay? The man with about the lowest amount of resources and everything else is the one that decided not to go back. Now, if you believe Jose and you think they really did tell him to get away from his family and everybody, get far away, it's good, better for him. I think most psychiatrists and stuff would want you to have support around, not move off by yourself, right? So why did Jose stay? Why only Jose? Everybody else went back. If you believe Jose's story, he needed to get away, then you can chalk it up to that. I don't believe a doctor is going to recommend a dad move away from his children, especially 13 hours, I could see saying, you seeing him every day move to a town or two over, and he could have surely figured something like that out. Why did Jose go to Tennessee? Why was he so intent on being there? Staying there a while. And back to the trip thing, think about this also. Jose makes it out like he set every rule for the trip, No bringing no pot, no bowl packs, nothing like that. Jose's supposed to be this guy that's bumming the ride, but yet he's setting all the rules. That's interesting, isn't it? You would think he'd just be happy-go-lucky to have a ride. But, he's making rules and stuff, too. That's weird. Jose acts like he's the alpha of every situation, but I just don't see his personality like that. He also makes it out like he's an alpha when he's around Dawn. I don't buy that. Now, Jose says out in Grandis's camper, the bathroom wasn't even hooked up. Why is that? How ghetto is that they lived like that? That Grandis had to actually get out, walk in to the Wells property to use the bathroom in front of everybody the way it was set up. How weird is that? That to me shows signs of addiction and depression and stuff like that, because most people would want the toilet where they were staying to work. And I think maybe that's a big part of what happened to Summer. That's no excuse whatsoever. I've been depressed too, and I don't let my kids go without. But is that a part of it? Now this is super damn weird if you think about it, okay? Jose himself admits Candus was getting plastered by 5:30 every day. She was drinking. She was on it and she was drinking, okay? So think about Candus's decision making here. She has brought a man she has never met before. Jose says he was crying on the trip to her house. That shows me he's unstable. So she brings an unstable man to her home, gets drunk, so her decision making and her supervising is even worse than when she's sober. And now there's a strange man in the house with the kids while she's constantly drunk, and his bedroom is the playroom. That's the reason Candus don't need her kids back. That's horrible decision making. I don't think any parent would make that kind of decision. And for people that want to say, well, she needed money, Dawn was off in Utah. She could have got a job. Allie worked at Walmart. She could have done something like that. I know she couldn't work there because of the threat she made, but she could have got a job. You got Grandis up there on the hill. She could have watched the kids, right? She's staying there too. There were options. Don't act like she had to have Jose as a boarder to feed herself. She chose that. And Jose, you lied. I'm sorry. And I don't get why you lied. But I think if I could figure out why you told this specific lie, it may be a clue to something. You said early on there was no way Candus would leave the boys at home alone. Yet the day you remember so vividly that you can actually tell us where people were sitting in the truck, you name off everybody but the other two boys that were there at the time. Candus was there, Allie was there, so we know nobody was at Chateau Wells watching them. Now, do we know that 100%? No, but I know it pretty damn close. And the oldest boy was in Utah with Dawn. So you said she would never do that. And I didn't buy that from the beginning. And I don't feel that you believe that. But you, for some reason, lied about that. And I know when y'all got home, since everybody was with y'all, them boys were there by themselves. And I know you remember that. And I never bought that from the beginning when I heard you say that you didn't think Candus would ever leave the boys home alone. So there are problems with Jose. You can choose to ignore them if you wish. I choose to live in reality. Could Jose be the reason Candus lost the boys? They talked to him, he says, 7 or 8 days after Summer went missing. So, she lost them in about 3 weeks. It seems to me it could be what got the ball rolling if he indeed did tell. See, Jose says he didn't tell the FBI about the SA stuff with Dawn, the shower situation, and, the big bad feeling he had when Dawn showered with the kids. Jose said he pulled Summer out, tells Dawn that ain't happening. Could Jose have told that to the FBI? And that's what got the ball rolling to get the boys out of the house. I think it's a very good chance Jose could have been, because what he's saying now in these interviews would probably be enough to lose your children. And is the reason he's saying he didn't mention that to the FBI to keep Candus and Dawn from realizing, Jose could have been the reason that the kids were taken. He don't want, people to know that he was really the reason. But, to be honest, I wouldn't think he was a bad dude for it. I would think, he got him out of a bad situation, because it was probably still a bad situation even after Summer went missing. I'm sure. So I'm not hating on him for it, but I don't know why he don't want to admit it, unless it's just because he's worried about retaliation from Dawn and Candus. If that's what it is, he should just tell us that, and I would think of him as a better person, because that's one thing I really don't like about what he's done is he says he didn't tell the FBI about the weird shower stuff, and he should have. So if he did, good job. If he didn't, shame on you. Either way, what he did tell him could have been enough where Jose is the reason the kids got taken.